Hello. Hello. It is 3:55 p.m. on the day before this game comes out, and genuinely, I feel like I'm gonna hate it. I loved the game. Hi, my name is Gracie, and this is what happens when you start journaling. Can I tell you something crazy? I finished this journal, and let me read you the first entry. It says, November 11th, 2024. I'm working on the Life is Strange double exposure video. My life has been marked too many times by these stupid games. In this same journal entry in 2024, I was deciding what I should make for Friendsgiving with friends that I'd had for years. Then, that later that year, I decided I wanted to get a new job. Then, that friend group completely fell apart and I started contract work for a poetry nonprofit. Then, I got another job in addition to my contract work. Then, without a real financial plan, I quit my first job out of college. I did my first poetry reading. I did my second poetry reading. I realized I wanted to start dating. Then I realized I didn't really like the guy. Then I realized I need to make more money. So I got another job. So now technically I have 3 jobs. And you know who grew more in the year and a half since the last game came out? Deck 9. They went from making literally the most infuriating game I have ever played to genuinely an incredible work of art that made me laugh, cry, shocked me, delighted me, and I want to talk about it. Maybe this is a bad way to start the video, but I don't really care. I'm going to read you some of my notes from before I started playing the game. Okay, it says, I wonder if I'll hate this game and not want to make a video about it, or I won't care enough about this game to make this video. Is this the last Life is Strange game? Are we going to end on a dud? It has 5 stars from 4.1 thousand views on PS5. Not exactly a divisive game. I will never be okay with them dropping Ashley Burch as Chloe's voice actor. I forgot I wrote this. I am so glad she is booked and busy elsewhere. Remember to shout out, I'm happy you're here. So that's how my year and a half has been going. Life is Strange Reunion begins about 10 months after the last game ends, with Chloe experiencing a vision of her death. She doesn't know what to do, so she goes searching for the one person who might have answers, her ex-girlfriend, Max. Elsewhere, we meet Max Caulfield, who took this cunty photo. She's returning from a weekend of being a celebrated author on the high of her life when suddenly Caledon University is being attacked. Arsonists have started burning down some of the school's buildings, and the people she loves are in danger. The only way to prevent the attack from occurring is to travel back in time 3 days and uncover the how, why, and when the fires will occur to stop them. It took me a while to find the right structure to talk about this video game. Then I realized I'm going to compare Life is Strange Reunion to the places where Life is Strange Double Exposure failed, starting with the story. Double exposure got worse as the game went on. As a player, you slowly watch the story dissolve into meaningless nothingness. The final choice of the game is nothing. The stakes are nothing, and you care about no one. Compare that to Reunion, where the story gets better as the game goes on, which is how that's supposed to work. Reunion starts slow, a slow reintroduction to the world where we re-meet Max and all of the friends she had in the last game. We re-meet, oh my gosh, why did I write that? That's so hard to say. Reunion starts slow, a slow introduction to this world. We re-meet, I have to figure out a different word for that. We meet again. Reunion starts slow, a slow return into the world we once left Max. We return to Max, the celebrated photographer and professor. We return to Moses, the astrophysicist who's been running tests on Max. We return to Chloe, who's now the manager of a band. We return to Loretta and Reggie, 2 of Max's students. We return to Sophie, who's disguised as a student doing a terrible Southern accent.
Now that we've started talking, whatever you were trying to capture before must surely be gone.
What is this person?
You're right.
The main culprits for the fire are the college's secret society called Abraxas and a group of rioters who are protesting Caledon University's expansion, which does bring us to a weakness of this story. Abraxas was so underbaked in the last game. I actually can't recall a story reason why they existed. I genuinely believe that they exist because we're making a video game in a college. There should be a secret society. All they needed to do to fix Abraxas was make them a private club of rich kids donors. Like the rich donors whose names are on the side of the building, that's who the club's made out of. This solves so many lingering questions with the society. Why does Abraxas run without supervision? Well, Caledon doesn't want to make their donors angry. Why is Loretta so interested in them and their secrets? Because she cares about equality and keeping people accountable. How were they able to kill someone 30 years ago without anyone noticing? Because money. On top of that, I didn't really buy the town's frustration with Caledon expanding. Maybe I missed it, but Caledon wasn't price gouging people or displacing people from their homes. The rioters can be solely motivated by the loss of their town, but that is not the stated reason in the story. Most of the people who are upset at Caledon's expansion are upset for personal reasons. Lucas is upset because he was rightly fired. The bartender is upset because he lost his bar in the storm, and this other guy named Rin is upset because Caledon hid details about his parents' death. Before Max changes the timeline, the riot is caused by Loretta's death, which makes a lot of sense. After the timeline change, the riot is caused by what, though? It would have made more sense if the game just zoomed in on those three people as the main culprits, which, yes, it does do that at a certain point, but I don't really understand why the riot still had to exist. Near the end of the game, all of the pieces start to fall together. We figure out how the fire started, and it turns out it was started by multiple people from multiple locations. And the player, we, fail to stop it. Everything Max did meant nothing. People are still in danger, and people may still die. Unlike Double Exposure, this game has real stakes. In Double Exposure, what were the stakes? Safi dies? Too damn bad. It's not like she didn't deserve it. She literally was out here ruining lives. In Reunion, innocent people are put in danger for the vendetta of a small group of people. It's unjust. It's wrong. It motivates the player and Max to try to go back in time and fix everything. But she fails, which brings us to maybe the most interesting thing a Life is Strange game has ever done.
Hey. It's okay. No, it's not. I can do something. I can reset the ladder. I can put you back before the fire. My selfie. I can go back to the beginning and do it right this time.
Max kind of loses it, and I loved it. This game doesn't have the balls to devote to an evil Max, but it does have this incredible moment of characterization where you see the entire weight of the world on her shoulders, and she kind of cracks under the pressure. The climax of this game is incredible. The climax of Double Exposure happens in a storm, which already made no sense. This game's climax occurs in a moment where genuinely everything is lost. Max failed to stop the fire. With all her power, she is still helpless. Then Chloe jumps off the roof.
You'll be there for me, Max. You always are. No!
It's literally so cool. I was sitting there like the footage you just watched is my real footage where I'm sitting in my chair like I was genuinely so incredibly shaken by this. I never doubted that Max would be able to save Safi, but I had real doubt in my heart about whether Chloe was going to die. It's really good. I mean, and it's followed by one of the coolest depictions of Max's powers. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say. It's cool and I liked it, okay? This depiction of Max's powers is honestly awesome. It shows us what others see when Max teleports around. After this, the game does like zoom to the finish line and to stop the game and roll credits. But it shows what can occur when the player cares about the characters and the stakes of the story. Remember when I was like last video? Last video I was like, we should have been able to shoot Sophie. And that's how unengaged I was with that narrative. These games live or die on their characters. Chloe is carrying this game. While writing this, I realized how boring Max is and how she needs a character to bounce off of. Sophie was not that character. Max needs the funny man to her straight man. Max is the voice of reason, and to be the voice of reason, you need a voice of unreason. Chloe could be defined as literally like her character bio could be the voice of unreason. Also, I want to mention that they translated Chloe's character from a teenager to an adult really well. She can still be vulgar and impulsive, but she's also responsible and kind. If they kept Chloe the exact same as she was when she was 18, honestly, I think I would have hated her. Her aging and growing up makes her a more rich character. One of the love interests from the last game, Amanda, is a great person, but great people can make boring characters. I honestly cannot think of a character flaw for her. Amanda always makes the right choice and does best by others. To contrast, Chloe is a compelling character, not just because we have nostalgia for her, but because she makes mistakes, hurts others, and doesn't always make the best decision. But above all of that, to be genuinely as meta as possible, Chloe was literally designed to be Max's counterparts. And I don't mean that like in a sole gameplay sense. I mean that in a video game creation sense. A decade ago, when they were designing these character models, casting the voice actors, and writing the scripts, they made Chloe and Max perfect counterparts for each other. As I mentioned earlier, Sophie is in this game. And if you'll remember from my last video, I fucking hated Sophie. Okay? And you want to know how good this game is? It made me like Sophie. She is still sociopathic, and somehow her psychopathy made sense. There's a sadness to her that wasn't there before. Also, she randomly has a crush on Max, but her motivations still made no sense. And still, I was like, I kind of like Sophie in this game. Like, she's kind of funny and like doing a bad Southern accent. I don't know what they did, but in writing this, I realized Sophie was a terrible character foil for Max. But you know who she's a great character foil for? Chloe. I haven't mentioned it yet because literally I don't know where to work it in. But this game retconned one major detail from the last game. In Double Exposure, Max reunites the timeline where Sophie is alive and Sophie is dead. This brings Sophie back to life. In this game, Max wasn't trying to bring Sophie back to life. She was trying to bring Chloe back to life. And in doing so, she just accidentally also saved Sophie's life. This has the side effect that Chloe and Sophie are both having visions of their own deaths. As a foil for Chloe, Sophie feels like she deserves to die. She spends a portion of this game trying to force her and Chloe to enter the vision and resolve their half existences. This culminates in Sophie and Chloe entering the lighthouse from the OG game, where inside there's a figure of Max holding a gun, ready to kill one or both of the girls. Chloe and Sophie argue about whether being alive is a mistake or an opportunity for a second chance at life. This scene encompasses so many of my favorite things about these games. You, as Chloe, have to convince Safi to live. They do this kind of similarly in the first game with Kate on the rooftop, and it only works if you care about the person you're trying to save. I don't know how they did it, but they made me care about Safi. And now for a very clean transition into the next section. Whoop! Your choices in Double Exposure almost didn't matter. They don't matter so much that at the start of this game, there's a button you can click to press randomize your choices from last game. In this game, there are some choices that I felt like didn't have a big impact on the narrative, but many choices are at least addressed or very important. But what I really want to talk about is the final choice of the game. The final choice in these games is a very hard thing to get right. Notoriously, the final choice of the OG game is the best there ever was. It's the culmination of everything the game laid out before it. Double Exposure's final choice is bullshit. This game's final choice is interesting, but I don't think it's interesting in the same way the game devs thought. There is a continual question about what happens to the people in Max's lives when she rewinds. It's postulated that the people who existed before Max rewinds and the people who exist after Max rewinds are not the same. To me, it's possible Max could be creating an alternate dimension. Like if you think of like the multiple worlds theory, like every choice you make creates a parallel universe. But this is personally cope to try and understand any of the lore from the last game. So the final choice of the game is that Chloe gets sent the cunty photo Max took before the game started. You can either choose to give this photo to her and possibly erase the world that Chloe and Max have created together, or burn the photo and preserve the world that Max and Chloe have now. Except that is not the moral quandary. The moral quandary is not at all about Max and Chloe staying together. It's about protecting Max from herself. In my playthrough, 4 people died of preventable deaths. I was playing the game and I was like, I've done everything right. I saved Safi, I saved the guard, I saved Loretta, and then I got to the very end of the game and 4 people's lives I could have saved. I chose to burn the photo at the end of this game because Max isn't Super Max. She's just a girl. And absolutely no one should live with the regret that comes from the feeling that I could have done something to save them. Except I didn't play the game twice, so who knows if the choices really matter? But they felt like they mattered, and honestly, that is more important. It's time to talk about the romantic subplot. So, Max and Chloe have so much chemistry. It's shocking, actually. I think it's because it's partially because of this. Max and Chloe, once again, were literally designed to go together, but also it's because of great dialogue and great performance. It's not that the romance in Double Exposure was bad, it's just that the choices were a girl you didn't even know and an asshole. There was no world where I didn't romance Chloe. They're fated to be together as far as I'm concerned. Actually, I think in the in-game lore, they are fated to be together. I honestly don't have anything else to say on the romance, but I did like at the very end that you could have continued to continue dating Amanda. I liked that was a small detail. I kind of wish Amanda was a larger character and actually part of the Scooby gang. I'd love to see her out of the bar more. There are always more things that I want to say in a video that I don't include because simply I don't have time. So I'm going to recap all of those things right now. This game is funny. The soundtrack's great. They also did a really good job balancing the plot devices from the last game that people hated and keeping the things that people liked. I love how actively bad Max is at hiding her powers, and I've mentioned it before, but I honestly wish they would dedicate to an evil Max. Like, there is a world where Max is the villain. And I think that story is really interesting. I didn't talk about a whole plot point with Safi's mom and the new dean and Vin because genuinely I don't care about them. I hate, and I mean hate, that they brought Lucas back because frankly, he isn't pathetic enough. And I know we're all thinking it. Yes, the supernatural stuff in this game makes no sense. Max's powers do whatever the hell the game player, like the devs, want them to. And also, at one point in this game, actually at 2 points, they were like magic fireflies that are never explained or explored or even acknowledged. But they do lead you to save Loretta. Wait a minute, wait. Is the insinuation that Loretta has powers? Because that is, I don't like that. To end this rant, I just want to say Chloe and Max's height difference is T. I did not remember them being this much taller than one another. I think, like, honestly, like, Chloe is almost like a full head taller than Max. And I think that's really hot. I like how the game also acknowledged Rachel, Maya, and Chloe's father. It makes these characters feel more real, that a part of them exists in the characters' hearts and minds and as aspects of the world around them. In regards to bugs, yeah, there was a lot of pop-in, and one time I had a lighting bug that made me have to restart the whole game. But it was fine. This game is not nostalgia bait until the very end, where there is a montage of all of the things that Max and Chloe have lived through together, and it did make me a little bit emotional. It's also very clear that they only created like 5 different environments for this game and the last game, and they just reused all of them. They were like, we made all of these things for the last game, and we do not have the money to make anything new. It's very clear. Also, they never resolved the fact that because Chloe and Safi have visions because they were dead and brought back to life, that Arcadia Bay also has visions of their death. Like, they never addressed that or resolved that. And that's everything. The last couple of minutes was a lot of information, but let me tell you, I still cut some stuff out. And you know what? I love scoring things. So I'm going to score this game an 8 out of 10. The last game was a 6 out of 10. So, like, I don't know, it's like 6 divided by, how much of, so 6 is 50, 54% of 10? No, that can't be right. So 10 and then 6. So 6 can go into 10 one time. I will never be over hating double exposure. I fear that it's a part of my bones now. My bones. And maybe when I'm an old lady and my bones start breaking apart, maybe then I'll stop caring. But I don't think that will ever happen. All right, it is the end of the video, and unless you want to hear me ramble, you can click off, girl. It's okay. It's okay. We all got stuff to do. Honestly, I watch my own videos on 2x speed. Not like I don't talk fast enough. I am recording this video with my back camera. And to be able to see that I am in the frame, I've drawn like a little square of tape. Actually, I have the tape on the floor with me right there. I've drawn like 2 squares of tape on the floor to know where to put my feet so I'm in the frame. But I didn't believe that that was going to be good enough. So I also have a mirror behind my camera pointing at myself so I can see what I look like and if I'm in the frame or not. And if you're wondering, like, why hasn't she moved very much and why is she moving in the vertical and not in the horizontal, it's because I don't want to leave the frame, and the framing of these videos is already bad enough. Is this video going to be short? I kind of feel like it is. I've recorded all of it and it's only taken me like an hour, which is really fast. Or I just crushed the hell out of the script. I should know how long this video is going to be because the script's 7 pages and my Ghost of Yote video is 5 pages and that video was about 20 minutes. So I should know how long it's going to be based on the script. But let me tell you, I will not know how long this video is until I'm done editing it. And the more I talk, the more work it is for future me while editing. And once again, I have 3 jobs right now, which is kind of stupid sounding. I would say that I have 1.2 25 jobs. But it's a lot, and I work Saturdays. I only get 1 day a week off. And what else can I complain about? Let me just start complaining about things. I can't keep talking. I can't. I might cut all this out. You never know. Only I know when I'm editing it. And take care of yourself. And I will see you again.